The unthinkable is now happening as people are selling out of their low interest rates. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. Just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. Let's jump back on the real estate merry-go-round, examine the good, the bad, and maybe a little bit of the ugly.
Scott, not the ugly. Only examine rainbows and sunshine and McDonald's $5 meal deals.
No, somebody's got to read between lines and look. Between the economic cracks. We've got some economic cracks to look through today. Welcome to the show. Hope everybody's doing great. So a big one happening right now. Something that we thought would never happen. Do you remember that during the euphoria? Oh, your agent may have told you this. Oh, yeah.
People aren't selling because they don't want to lose their low interest rates. We call them the golden handcuffs. My advice right now is just buy. Buy, date the rate, marry the house. We'll get lower interest rates soon. We can always refinance you into a lower rate when they drop them. They're talking about the Fed doing that really soon.
Token interest rate cuts are not going to solve the biggest housing bubble ever witnessed in human history. And guess what? It gets better. Or worse, depending on how you look at it. People now, I said this from the beginning. I love real estate. I'm a real estate agent. I own real estate. I took a hit in the last real estate downturn. I weathered the storm, kept some great real estate. Pays my bills today. That's why I can come here and give you real talk. You always want an agent in better shape than their clients. An agent willing to put your needs before their own. If you're working with an agent and their only source of income is commissions, ditch them. Get an agent that has other income. Because those are the people that they're not going to have commission breath. I could care less about your house. I'm going to get you. If you want to use me, which many people do on this channel. Hundreds of people I've helped buy and sell here from the channel. As well as just doing stuff in my own backyard and even before the crisis.
I absolutely love this extra space right here. You could have private parties, you could have additional seating. Heck, you could even rent it out to another company. With over 600 square feet of additional space, possibilities are endless.
My job is to get you sold or help you buy. If we're finding out, my advice has always been, don't fall in love with the house. If I'm showing you homes. Well, Scott, why would you say that? Because I'm trying to protect you. If you fall in love with the house, they got us. And that's what happened to over 10 million people during the crisis. 10 million, more, probably 20. Fell in love with the home, went above and beyond appraised values, and got into a bidding war. Now their houses have gone upside down. The only thing that's saving them is that low interest rate. But here's the challenge, my friends. This is why they're selling out of their interest rates, of course. Cost of living. Insuring the home, property tax, everything else is crushing them. So any money they saved through that low interest rate, they overpaid, first of all. The house wasn't worth what they paid for it, but they locked in a low payment. But now the cost to insure the home, the cost to feed the family, the remote working's over, losing my job. God, it's all going up. It's all going up. Every single time. Not 1%, not 2%, 100% of the time. The U.S. housing market has exhibited bubble behavior. They've crashed. It's not if, it's when. So some areas, the real estate's local. Some areas will behave differently. Some will get be the first to get hit. Some will be the last to get hit. Some will be the first to climb out. Some will be the last to climb out. Some will get hit harder. Just really depends on your zip code, where you're at. That's my job, is to help you guys, and I've been doing that. There's simple tools that we use. Right now is a great time to buy if you know what you're doing and with a good agent, like I said, that doesn't have commission breath. But here's the challenge. The cost of living now is insane. And, wages haven't kept up with inflation. So, as our cost of living goes up, I'm feeling it. I'm sure you're feeling it too. I see it. I don't know if necessarily feeling it, but I see it. And what have I talked about? This will be called reverse FOMO. This is basically herd mentality. What do people do, even the wealthy with money, do when they hear whispers of recession? What do? Leave it in the comments below. You guessed it. They recess too because of herd mentality. Monkey see, monkey do. I've explained this metaphor. I see it. Next time you drive, and you've seen this too. I see so many people that buy out of the area because they save $100,000 on a house and then they end up commuting. They end up commuting for hours in traffic. Their house is just a transfer station. I've done this before in the last 2008 bubble. Bought a house an hour away, 45 minutes, whatever it was. Spent a lot of time in the car just to own a house. It wasn't worth it. Don't sacrifice your quality of life. It's not important to own where you live. It's just important to own. Rent somewhere cheap Live in a cracker box, but buy other properties and turn it into rental and cash flow. Do that a bunch of times and write off. Sacrifice now, ride off into the sunset later mentality. But that's not what happened during the euphoria. The FOMO swept in and people wanted to buy it at any cost because interest rates were low. And then they ignored it and some agent walked them off a cliff because they were cashing in. Agents were cashing in on this thing. Cashing in. If you had a listing, it was insane. You thought you were God. And you're not, by the way. If you had a listing, I mean, we always, even before the crisis, most people are like, I'm a listing agent. I don't work with buyers. When I came up, I don't care if it was a mansion. I don't care if it was a mobile home. I don't care if it was a lease. I don't care if it was a buy. I did it all. That's the way I started. I used to call. I would drive around and I'd see a for rent by owner. I could tell it wasn't a management company. I would call them up. Hey, I saw your rental advertised. Do you need help getting a renter? I'm Scott Walters. I'm a local agent. I can bring you a high-level tenant tomorrow. Well, what do you charge for that? Most agents charge, I believe it was like a full month's rent to do tenant placement services. I'll do it for half a month's rent. That's how hungry I was to make it in real estate. I didn't care I chased it all down. And I brought that mentality into the crisis, even in the euphoria. I never changed or compromised at all. I kept my integrity. Most agents drank the Kool-Aid, thought they were special. And I saw this happening. If you had the listing, everybody coming in.
Oh, yeah. Expecting multiple offers on this one.
And then to add insult to injury, after the house would sell, I'm back on social media.
So happy for my sellers. I was able to get the highest recorded sale ever for the neighborhood for them.
Do it? The crisis did it. Grandstand. I couldn't help it. I had to turn on this camera and bring it to you guys. This is not a normal market. This is an episode of The Twilight Zone. This is a showdown at the OK Corral. This is a gunfight, the Wild West now in real estate. And it's not going to last, and it's clearly not. But prices are stuck. And I know a lot of you have been very patient. Like, hey, Scott, been a lot of people talking about the real estate. I'm not seeing a crash happen. Crash doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. I remember in 2008, I bought in 07. I caught the dreaded falling knife. That crash started probably in 06, 07. It didn't finish until 2012. And then it was half-price homes. This one's going to take potentially a little longer unless we get a news event that just shocks these markets. It's teetering on the razor's edge right now. It wouldn't surprise me if by the time I posted this video, something's happened and the financial markets are getting shocked. But so much money entered the system through stimulus. With the U.S. debt being mathematically unbalanceable, we will never balance our debt sheet. We'll be a debtor nation forever. Number two, we had a lot of excess cash, didn't we, for a little while? We've exhausted it all. The U.S. savings rate now is at an all-time never-seen-before low. We have exhausted our cash reserves. Number three, quite possibly the knockout blow. U.S. credit card debt is now at an all-time never-seen-before high, and here is why. People can't keep up with their cost of living, but they don't want to compromise their lifestyle. They put so much pressure to buy those homes. The last thing they want to do is lose the home. They will ride that thing down like the Titanic before letting the home go. Do you want to go home and tell your wife, honey, we have to sell the house after you got into a bidding war to buy it and we're going to lose money? But I went through this in 2008. My wife didn't know. She didn't know about a recession. Either did I, for the most part. All I knew is I'm the one trying to keep us afloat, and it was getting harder and harder. And like I said, I caught the dreaded falling knife. People caught the dreaded falling knife. That's in fact what they're doing right now, and that's why it's so important. I have other real estate. It's went up and down. But it's rental property. So its purchase price is less important if you're not selling, but you're just rent, cash flowing. It's cash doing its job. I don't know what it's worth. It's doing its job, cash flowing. When I have tenant turnover, I reevaluate the market and see what I put it back on the market at in terms of its new rent rate. Typically, I don't mess with my tenants. People were price gouging their tenants. I can't tell you how many calls I got during the crisis. My landlord just raised the rent by 25%. My landlord wants to sell the house. I need a new rental. I've talked about this. I help people during the crisis. If you need a new rental, this is what you need to do. Like you'd apply for a job. Get a rental resume created, a tenant overview letter to hand in with your application. I had a stack of applications. So I see what's it? Tenant overview letter, bullet pointed, all their strengths, not their weaknesses, no life story, no sob story. My landlord is kicking us out because they're selling the house. They price got blame. I don't want this tenant. But the one that's all perfect credit score, cash reserves, gainfully employed, no pets, no smoking, no party, professional tenant overview. I like top of the list. They're going to definitely look at these. Helped you guys. But here we go, friends. This is the waters we're now swimming in. People cannot afford their homes anymore. Inflation has robbed them of their buying power, their purchasing power, just their cost of living power. It's all teetering on the razor's edge. This will have a breaking point. Government intervention cannot save the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Of course, I'm going to tell you, because it's the biggest asset class on planet Earth. It's too big to save. We learned that in 2008. The narrative was housing market's too big to fail. People will always pay their mortgage. They need a place to live. Didn't work. We had a massive crash. That was a recession. Now we have a potential depression knocking at the door, courtesy of the crisis. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy who wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. U.S. economy, welcome to the swimming pool. People can no longer keep up with their cost of living. I'm watching it firsthand. And like I was about to say, you're seeing it, herd mentality. When people hear the whispers of recession, they will recess too, even if they're financially fit. Like the people I was talking about that bought homes out of the area to commute to them. Now watch what's happening. If you're seeing two gas stations, one has 10 cent a gallon cheaper gas, the lines around the block are a huge line waiting for gas. The other big brand gas stations, empty. The rich people over there, the people scrambling to do their 2-hour commute, saving 10 cents a gallon to maybe save $50 a month on gas. That is how crazy it's getting. Those are the waters we're now swimming in. It's clear we overstimulated the U.S. economy and the biggest asset class on planet Earth. My advice, and I never suggest anybody do anything I'm not doing or willing to do myself, insulate yourself in these times. Understand what the waters you're swimming in. Expect the unexpected. It's better to be prepared for something and have it not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. If and when this thing plays out, I don't want you to be a deer in the headlights and not be able to operate within it efficiently because you've heard messages like this. Oh yeah, Scott Walters said that. The boom bust cycle. We've always had him. He's communicated things that he's seen as an agent firsthand. And his advice is, if I'm selling my house, don't get stuck on the market chasing the market, because he's going to come along and expose me. That's the kiss of death in real estate. Stuck on the market chasing the market. Agents, listen up. And if you need an agent, you contact me. I've worked with hundreds of people right here on successfully helping them on here off of YouTube. Find out who your competition is and beat them. That's the only way to get a house sold right now. If you come on the market along with everybody else, nobody's racing racing over to see a house that's priced at the top of its price range. Get under its price range. That's the only way to get sold in this environment if you're buying a house. Make sure it pencils out. Standard amount down, today's interest rate, my payment cost to carry this home is below its rent range. I could rent it out if I wanted to. Millions of people didn't do that. They're losing homes as we speak. Our default's now spiking. Mortgage delinquency is now spiking. It's playing out in real time. But until there's blood in the streets, people are going to be oblivious to this because they're too consumed with just keeping up with the cost of living. That's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there. Simply search up Scott Walters Real Estate on Instagram. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. If you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. My team can help. So remember, next time you think real estate, you think Scott Walters, and we will see you soon.